Unpacking the Buddha's First Discourse. Episode 7. Suffering. First, what do we even mean by unpacking? We can define unpacking as the intense scrutiny of traditional Buddhist and Zen texts. A scrutiny that often breaks down the text sentence by sentence, phrase by phrase, and occasionally word by word. And why even unpack at all? Because not all of us have the opportunity to regularly engage with a living, breathing, enlightened teacher. Understanding that in the Zen tradition, it's this engagement that substitutes for the critical reading of the traditional texts. And so, for those who don't have the opportunity to regularly engage with a living teacher, there must be a return to the traditional texts as teacher. And with that return is the understanding that the texts are best approached as sequences of riddles, or perhaps as sequences of landmines. And these riddles must be reconciled, these landmines cleared, if we are to truly make progress. Let's continue. Consider the following text excerpted from the Sutta, setting in motion the wheel of the Dhamma. This is the noble truth of suffering. Thus, bhikkhus, in regard to things unheard before, there arose in me vision, knowledge, wisdom, true knowledge, and light. This noble truth of suffering is to be fully understood. Thus, bhikkhus, in regard to things unheard before, there arose in me vision, knowledge, wisdom, true knowledge, and light. This noble truth of suffering has been fully understood. Thus, bhikkhus, in regard to things unheard before, there arose in me vision, knowledge, wisdom, true knowledge, and light. And in aiding in the unpacking of this brief excerpt, we might consider a handful of questions. First, what might the phrase, "in regard to things unheard before," suggest about the nature or novelty of the Buddha's realization? Next, how do the terms vision, knowledge, wisdom, true knowledge, and light differ in meaning? And why might the Buddha list them all? Why is the noble truth of suffering presented in 3 stages? Declaration, prescription, and completion. And what does this structure imply about the path to understanding? What does it mean to fully understand suffering? And how might that differ from simply recognizing or observing it? And finally, how does this passage suggest that insight or awakening is a process rather than a single moment? And so, we're now into the meat of Buddha's first discourse. More to come.